tracking for you this evening. Boston Consulting Group and early-stage investors Matrix Partners India have launched Digitizing Make in India Report 2024, a deep dive on the state of the B2B and manufacturing tech landscape of the country. The report also focuses on the sunrise sectors, along with a playbook on how entrepreneurs can play this manufacturing wave. To elaborate more, joining me now are Ishang Java, Managing Director and Partner at BCG India, and Sudipto Sanigrahi, Managing Director, Matrix Partners India. Gentlemen, welcome to Startup Street. And Ishang, let me start with you first. Tell us, how does the manufacturing sector contribute to India's incremental GVA growth? Also, if you could elaborate on the key drivers propelling the manufacturing wave in India.
So analysis suggests that 32% of our GVA is expected to come from manufacturing in the next 6 to 8 years, which translates into almost $1.4 trillion of incremental GVA by FY30. 4 key factors which are driving this. 1, a very high domestic demand and growing affluence and household income. 2, large infrastructure spend by the government, which is enabling cost-competitive manufacturing and supply chains in India. 3, a big global supply chain dynamic change and trade flows that are enabling India to be seen as the next export hub. And 4, a lot of manufacturing focus incentives and PLIs, which are driving the focus on high value add manufacturing. Together, these 4 are the ones which are going to be the key drivers of our manufacturing-led GVA addition.
All right. Sudipto, coming to you now, what role do sunrise sectors like semiconductors, electronics, manufacturing, electric vehicles, and renewable energy, and of course, defense play in India's manufacturing wave?
Sure, Shruti. First of all, thank you for hosting me and Ishang. I think Ishang obviously mentioned why we are big believers of manufacturing as a sector as we move from a $4 trillion to $10 trillion economy. We spoke 32% of the GVA addition will be manufacturing. Within that, the core sectors that we have mentioned in the report and Ishang also spoke about will contribute more than 50% of the overall manufacturing boom. So in terms of size and scale, obviously these sectors are significantly important. But more importantly, if you take a step back and think about what are the sectors of national importance, you will realize that there are 3-4 key sectors which every country needs to do really well to be truly resilient. What are those sectors? One is compute, which is semiconductors, cloud, AI, and overall electronics manufacturing. Yeah. That would be probably $650 billion. Second is EV, renewable energy. Again, within EV and renewable energy combined will be another $100 billion. Defense, which would be $45 billion. And then obviously agri and food security and infrastructure. So we believe that these are the core sectors driving the economy, and there are enough number of tailwinds, as Ishang mentioned, why these sectors will do really, really well over the next 5 to 10 years.
Sure. Okay, let's talk about the electronics manufacturing segment. Ishang, if you could tell us how are global leaders in electronics manufacturing, such as Foxconn, Dell, Samsung, Micron, and more, contributing to India's semiconductor and electronics manufacturing landscape?
If you look at the 3 large EMS players, Foxconn, Jabil, Flex, they have really expanded their footprint in India, not just for manufacturing in India for India, but also India for global. And this is being driven by the diversification strategy that their clients are asking for. Similarly, OEMs like Dell, Samsung, which, to a large extent were focusing on India for assembly of mobiles, are also, now expanding into other components. They are not just looking at fulfilling these through their own centers, but also via contract manufacturing. What this is doing is establishing an end-to-end supply chain and large-scale assembly line setups in India. What this will do in the future is it will serve as the platform and the base for backward integration into high-value-add items, and also accelerate the journey for an integrated play inside India.
Okay. Sudipto, coming back to you, the report suggests that the Indian defense market is expected to reach $43 billion by 2030. What are the opportunities available for design, development, and manufacturing in this sector?
Sure, there are 2-3 areas where there are a lot of interesting opportunities. One obviously is in surveillance, where over the past 12 to 18 months, we have seen a lot of interesting companies come out in both drones and in space tech. So that's one big area. Second is obviously prime aggregators sell to the government, but you have a lot of opportunities in building technology for both offense and defense. For example, building radars, sensors, etc., that can be used in defense. And third, given how fast the defense sector is growing in India, companies also have an opportunity to build picks and shovels businesses. For example, there will be a lot of high quality precision manufacturing that will be required in the defense sector. So there are opportunities, for example, for 5-axis CNC machine companies. So surveillance, tech, and precision engineering.
All right. Ishan, coming to you quickly, besides semiconductors, electronics, EVs, renewable energy and defense, what are the other sectors that are expected to significantly contribute to India's $10 trillion economy journey? And what opportunities do they offer for entrepreneurs, if you could quickly tell us?
So two big opportunity areas that, we cover in the report briefly as well. One is agri-tech, including food tech. Agri exports are expected to be a 15 billion plus market, and there is a potential of 20 billion plus of farm mechanization. Similarly, if we look at specialty chemicals, that's a 70 billion plus opportunity that we see by FY30. Entrepreneurs, startups, existing players can really focus on building strong R&D-backed manufacturing networks and tech-enabled supply chains, which are critical for these sectors and help us grow these.
All right. Sudipto, before I let you go, I have to talk to you about Matrix's investment in Kruthrim. The investment took it to a unicorn status. First, give us a sense of the valuation the venture got before it even had a product. And secondly, what do you have to say about the criticism it has been facing on its beta program?
Sure, thank you. I think I won't comment on the valuation and the round outside what is available in public domain, but I will definitely talk about the product. So first, what does Kruthrim do? Kruthrim is a full stack AI product. It has 3 layers to it. One is the semiconductor compute layer where we are building our AI accelerator. Second, you have cloud. And third, you have an AI LLM, which obviously everyone tried out and we got feedback on, which is India's first LLM focused on Indian languages built in India. So that's what Kruthrim does. I think like all other large language model data, we released a beta to get feedback, and like all large language model companies bases the feedback and more data training, we are improving the LLM model. And in the near future, you will obviously see a much more advanced version of the LLM that all of us in India can use.
All right. On that note, we'll have to wrap up our conversation. Ishang and Sudipto, many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today. It was an absolute pleasure talking to the both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, moving on, mobility.